You tell me if I'm right or wrong, basically. You tell me if you disagree. So I'm going to give you the ACC teams that I feel like overachieved this year,
Okay.
the ACC teams that I feel like underachieved, and the ACC teams that just kind of hit expectations and did what we thought they would do. All right.
Perfect.
So let's start with the ones that just kind of hit. All right. I have Cal, I have Boston College, Stanford, Virginia, Pittsburgh. I don't think any team did more or really did less. Now, Pittsburgh is the one that's a little odd because Pittsburgh, of course, was ranked.
Yeah.
They were 6-0 or 7-0, right? And then they just fell apart. So if you judge them by mid-season standards, you'd probably say underachieved. If you judge them by the fact that they were ranked at all, overachieved. But I feel like we all thought Pitt would probably end up 7-6. Like, who did I miss there? Do you disagree on Pitt?
Well, I think Pitt was picked to be bad.
Yeah, they were. They were.
4 wins or 5 wins,
Sure.
Maybe. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me in the
No, I
comments.
think you're right. I think
They were
you're right.
picked to be
Because they were coming
good.
off a really bad year.
Yeah, the fact that they did this to me was impressive. Now there is that, it's not even recency at this point. It's the back half of the season. It's
Dude.
like 6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah, I think it's 6. That's bad.
No, 6.
That's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good. And a big part of that was because you lost your quarterback, Eli Holsting. But
Right.
I'm going to put them in the overachieved though, for me. Like I think that I had no expectation for them. I thought they were going to be really, really bad. And I think Eli, Reed, those guys, and they're both back. I mean, there's a bunch of promise for Pitt to me. And I know that people aren't happy with various decisions and not going for it, punting, things of that nature. I get it. But to me, I still think they overachieve. So I would put Pittsburgh in that overachieve spot.
I hear you on that. Yeah. The other ones, I feel like they just kind of did what we thought they would do. Boston College, maybe I should put underachieved, but that was all what we thought would happen with Tommy Castellanos. And then I put them in the hit expectations, make a bowl game, kind of just be in that spot. Right. All right, let's talk overachieved. Unfortunately, there are more underachieving teams than overachieving teams. In the overachieved, I've got 5, the Fab 5. SMU, obviously, Syracuse, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Duke. Those are my overachieving teams.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
Clemson's not in there?
I just am fascinated. These like, we're not going to have 10-loss or 10-win teams in underachieving, are we?
I mean, compared to expectations, I think Clemson and Miami underachieved.
You expected Clemson to be in the playoff this year?
Well, Clemson snuck in, Mac. Clemson did not deserve to be in the playoffs.
Put them up there. Come on.
Mac.
We didn't.
They lost to Louisville at home. They lost to Georgia by 30.
I think Clemson's number was 8.
Carolina.
I think 8 was their win total.
Vegas can say what they want. Did you, Mac, getting blown out by Georgia, losing to the Gamecocks, and losing to Louisville, and then backdooring your way into a playoff is an overachieving season?
They won a championship. Come on.
Bro, man.
I thought Cade Klubnik was no good. He's the best quarterback in the country next year.
Cade overachieved. Cade overachieved for sure.
The defense was terrible.
The defense was terrible.
I'm
okay. I want to see how people feel about this.
Yeah, I didn't think that they would be back in the playoff this year. So they just overachieved.
And yes, it was great, and they found their way in, but I think any season you lose to Carolina, and you lose 2 home games, Eric McLean.
Yeah.
All right, Clemson fans, tell us what you think. For the other
at least put them at like status quo. We can't. There's no way we put them under.
Right. I mean, you can put them at hit expectations.
Your standards. I love it.
Clemson season where you lose 2 home games, Mac. Yeah. Honestly, let's be real. Any Clemson season where you lose to the Gamecocks.
Yeah. So what do you give me a letter grade? We're going to do a whole show now on letter grades of all these teams. Give me a letter grade for Clemson. What does Clemson get of your report card?
A B.
Okay. B's fine.
A B. But I mean, Clemson's used to getting an A+, Mac.
Yeah,
They're a smart kid who got a B.
That's different. That's true. That's true. All right, give me the teams again. Right. Give me who overachieved. You got to do it all over again.
Y'all tell us what you think. Yeah. Overachieved. SMU, Syracuse, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Duke.
Yeah. I think Louisville's maybe a tweener. I think that's probably – I mean, they didn't do anything except – I mean, they beat Clemson first time ever. Good job. I guess that bumped
Kentucky. They won 9 games.
They beat Kentucky for the – okay, great. Sure. Give it to them. give it to
You
them.
could put him hit expectations. I
Yeah.
understand you on that.
I'll put them a little bit up.
Okay.
If you do things you've never done before, you get moved up there. Let's go to the bad teams.
The other ones are obvious. They're overachieved. Would you move any of these underachieving teams? Clemson,
Yes.
Miami. Miami didn't win an ACC championship, Matt.
They put it all in. You're right.
Yeah.
They put everything into championships, and they didn't get it. So that's.
I feel like you underachieved.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The rest of these are just, oh my God. North Carolina, NC State, Florida State, Wake Forest.
I would move Wake Forest up to whatever. Like,
sure, hit expectations
for them. Miami, I'm back and forth. I think everyone thinks they underachieved. I mean, that's a part of the matter. When you spend that much money, when you get a guy like that, when you do the things you're able to do, similar to Clemson, like your defense just let you down. Your defense is the reason why you weren't able to do that. They fired their defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry there, who I love and think is really good, and going to be interesting to see where he lands. But it is tough, and so I guess you have to put them there. And really, the reason I put Clemson above is I didn't have that same expectation for Clemson to me, and that's the last thing I'm going to say about it.
Didn't we both think it'd be a Clemson-Miami ACC title game?
Yeah, but I didn't think they were going to get maybe to the playoff, but maybe I did. I don't remember. CT, I'm being a homer right now, I guess. I'm being a homer. And get that. NC State, terrible. Just really upset me all year long. The way it looked, the guys that they fired their offensive coordinator. They got a new guy. A couple of position coaches in, elevating Coach Roper to the offensive coordinator position. Virginia Tech, similar. I thought NC State would be significantly better. Schedule, opportunity, and players they had coming in, I thought NC State was going to walk to the playoff or walk to the championship, and they did anything but. Virginia Tech, kind of interesting deal. Fire defense coordinator, fire strength coach, which I don't love that move at all. I would love to hear why that was a thing. I thought Dwight Galt was amazing and a really good coach, but sometimes other guys have to be scapegoats, and that's is what it is, which is unfortunate. So I don't love that.
The only other one you could argue, Mac, and you tell me, is North Carolina. I almost wonder.
I didn't expect anything from them,
You didn't, but with Omar and Hampton, if they had beaten UConn and finished 7-6, which they probably would have if Omar and Hampton played, maybe you move them to hit expectations.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mac, James Madison 470 and lost.
I've got them borderline losing record, firing your coach. I've got them the highest, most disappointing team.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Clemson is actually, I guess, Clemson's my eyes most disappointing team.
I'm glad we disagree. I really want to hear specifically from Clemson fans. Tell me, or even just ACC fans, like viewing Clemson season. Did you view it as they overachieved or underachieved?
Right.
And then same, I think Miami fans, we know how they feel. They underachieved.
For sure.
First, and then all
FSU. Do you think FSU really underachieved?